The Wonderful Dipper. Long ago in a land far away there was a famine. In all that land there was nothing to eat. The people were very hungry. It had not rained for weeks and weeks, so of course nothing could grow. And every day the people watched the sky. They hoped to see a rain cloud, but no rain cloud came. And every night they hoped and hoped that tomorrow a rain would come. The people hoped the famine would soon be over. But when tomorrow came, there was not a cloud in the sky, and no rain fell. And day after day, there was less and less water in the river. And at last, there were no rivers at all. The leaves and the grass died, and soon all the flowers died too, and nothing could grow in so dry a land. It was a dreadful famine. The lambs were too thirsty to play. The birds no longer sang their songs, and some of them even died. And many people were sick, and little children were too thirsty to sleep. And one day a little boy started out with a tin dipper to find water for his sick mother. And as he went along, he saw the dry, dusty flowers and trees and the sick animals. The famine seemed to be everywhere. There was nothing green to be seen. And when he had walked a long way, he was tired and thirsty and sad. But on he went, hoping that he would find some water for his mother. He walked and walked until at last he reached the top of a high hill. He found a tiny spring of water. There was only enough water to fill the dipper once. So the little boy did not drink any of the water. Instead, he filled his tin dipper and started down the hill toward home. He walked very carefully so that he would not slip and fall, and he held the dipper carefully too, for he didn't want to drop any of the water. As he went down the hill, he heard a sad sound. He looked, and there he saw a little lamb. The lamb was sick and thirsty. It could hardly stand up. It was looking at the dipper of water. The boy did not take any water for himself, but he gave a little of it to the thirsty lamb. And as soon as the lamb's mouth touched the dipper, a wonderful thing happened. The tin dipper turned to silver, and instead of there being less water in the dipper, there was more. The dipper was full to the brim. The boy hurried on, and when he reached home he was tired and thirsty. But he did not drink the water. He took the dipper to his mother. And as soon as she touched the dipper, another wonderful thing happened. The silver dipper turned to gold, and the water was not less. The dipper was still full. And then the little boy held the dipper to his own mouth. He was quick to drink the water, but just at that very minute there was a knock at the door. The little boy hurried to the door and opened it. There was a stranger. The stranger was tired and thirsty and sick. He held out his hand for the water, and then instead of drinking the water himself, the kind little boy gave the dipper to the poor stranger. And as the stranger drank, his face grew very beautiful. He said softly, "The water shall not be less, but more for the giving." And when the boy looked again, the stranger was gone. But out in the yard there was a beautiful spring of clear water. The famine was over. Men, women, and children from far and near came to drink from the beautiful spring. The animals and the birds too drank the good spring water. But the beautiful golden dipper had disappeared. The little boy looked for it till the sun went down and the stars came out, but he could not find it. And then he looked up above him, and there in the sky above him he saw the big dipper. "Look," he said, "there is my dipper." But the dipper was no longer made of tin or silver or gold. Now it was made of bright stars. And from that time to this, the mothers in that land tell their children this wonderful story about the famine. They give each little boy and each little girl a tiny tin dipper. People say that the dipper's many children are always just tin dippers, But some children's dippers turn to silver, and some turn to gold. I wonder why this is.